Coral reefs grow by the once free-swimming coral larvae, attaching to hard surfaces underwater. Growth for a massive coral is 0.3 to 2 cm per year, but for a branching coral it is 10 cm. It can take up to 10,000 years for a coral reef to form from a group of larvae. For barrier reefs and atoll it can take 100,000 to 30 million years. There are around 6,000 species, whether that be in the depths of the freezing ocean or at the shore on a sunny tropical island. There are two main types of coral, being hard coral and soft coral. Examples of hard coral are brain coral and elkhorn coral. Soft corals can include species like sea fans and gorgonians. There are 4 different types of coral reefs around the world, which are: fringing reefs are separated from the shore by lagoons, and they are the most common type of reef. Barrier reefs are also parallel to the coastline but are separated by deeper and wider lagoons. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is the largest and most famous barrier reef in the world. Atoll reefs normally form when islands surrounded by fringing reefs sink into the sea or the sea level rises around them. The fringing reefs then continue to grow and eventually form circles with lagoons inside. Patch reefs are small and isolated reefs that grow up from the bottom of the island platform or continental shelf. They vary greatly in size and they rarely reach the surface of the water. The main environment needed for corals to survive is sunlight, clear water and warm water temperature. Corals need sunlight like any other animal and plant that needs it. Corals need clear water so sunlight can reach them. Warm water is so reef-building corals can build their reef. The range for these waters can change the coral's temperature from 20 to 36 degrees Celsius. That is the ideal range. There are many dangers facing coral reefs. Most of the reasons for coral dying include coral mining, pollution, overfishing, blast fishing, digging of canals for access into islands and bays. But the worst one of all is climate. Climate change causes the warming of temperatures and coral bleaching, more on this later, which if severe, can completely kill the coral. Corals have protective systems. When the water is too warm where coral lives, the coral will expel the algae living in their tissues, causing the coral to turn white. This is called coral bleaching and is the coral's protective system. The coral is not dead. Corals can still survive a bleaching event. But because they are under more stress, they can die. Coral reefs are an important resource for large-bodied fish in the Caribbean. They use the reef for shelter during the day, and as a hunting ground at night. Studies have shown that coral reefs rely on fish too. Fish produce ammonium. Coral needs ammonium to grow. Coral reefs contain the most diverse fish masses to be found anywhere on Earth, with around as many as 6,000 to 8,000 species dwelling within the coral reef ecosystems of the world's oceans. The main dangers in coral are overfishing. This has led to reduction of many fish species in the reefs, and has reduced their biodiversity. Overfishing of some fish types can lead to high levels of algae. Tourists can damage the coral environment by destroying it through contact when swimming, and damage from boat anchors when taking tourists to see the reefs. Pollution is the worst one of all because plastic that is thrown away can get stuck on coral and fish, and slowly kill them. It also contributes to global warming. Also, broken down plastic called microplastic can be mistaken by coral for food and they start eating it. Invading fish can be a big problem as well. Whether it's a swordfish or a group of sharks, because they can be a big problem killing a lot of fish. To help save the coral reefs, you could practice being careful when diving and snorkeling. Avoid touching reefs or anchoring your boat on the reef. Take a reef-friendly approach to sun protection by checking the ingredients in your sunscreen, because some ingredients in sunscreen can be harmful to, or even kill corals.